Yeah. Well, one of the guys came up to me and said, how'd you stay out of jail with your addictions? And I kind of looked at him. And that's why this was such a great day for all of us tomorrow, because I really got to understand this other side. And I thought, well, why would I be in jail? And then I thought about it. It was because I had something still. I had a support structure. I could still manage to find a job. I still maybe had a little money in the bank, but I wasn't that low. And that's what kept me out of jail. But to him, he was just like, for me, that's my option. When I get addicted, I'm in jail because that's what it leads to. So yeah, you're totally right. And you said something to my whole team when we got there yesterday, and you talked about addiction and drugs and how it related to the people that are going to come into the drop-in and the rest of the people in London. And I was wondering if you could explain your perspective on that.
Do you mean when I said about the percentage of people on the street using drugs are the vast minority of people that are actually using drugs? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Well, first of all, what is the percentage of the people that are using drugs, and how does that play out? And then, yeah, what's that perspective about the rest of the population? Because it's a good perspective, or however you want to tell it.
Yeah. So when I'm talking openly in a forum like that, I can talk openly about my own feelings around it. And I can tell you stuff that I've heard. When I talk on camera like that, I like to be a bit more like, this is where you can find this statistic and stuff like that. So if we talk about 83% of people on the street have some form of addiction, you can find that evidence on Homeless Link. They'll have a file there and it'll show you the percentage of people with addiction. I'm not sure where you'd find the percentage of people. But my understanding is always, well, for more recent times, that it's like 1 in 5 of people that are addicts are on the street, and that the 4 in 5 are in white-collar jobs in the city. And that kind of makes sense if you think about it, because the £14 to buy 2 shots of crack and heroin is not sustaining a drug dealer.
Is that what it costs?
That's what it costs in Tower Hamlets at the moment. It's the cheapest place in Britain.
Tower Hamlets.
Yeah. So
it's the cheapest place in Britain.
Yeah, so Hackney is a bit more money, but not much more money for that.
Okay. And what do you get for £14?
They say that you go and get 2 and 2. So if you pick up a phone, to be honest, if you went to any phone box in this area, press redial and ask for 2 and 2, that's what you're getting.
Serious?
Yeah. So the price might change, but that's what you'd get.
And I would get 2 hits of
crack and 2 of heroin, yeah.
So I get 4 hits, basically.
Yeah.
And the heroin would be to shoot, and the crack would be to smoke.
Yeah, and not for people at home to be trying this, but the crack kind of like tails off the come down, so it just prolongs the so that you don't have a massive up and then straight down again.
Okay. The crack does that, or the heroin does that?
The crack does that. The heroin will take you high and then straight back down, and the crack kind of filters it out a little bit. And and it makes sense because, like, the people that's got the money are in the city, right? So for some people, I'm not saying for all people, but for some people to lose 3, 5, even 10 grand in a week, for some people it's not a big thing, and so that's where that's where the money is if you're a dealer type thing.
And so the homeless people aren't supporting the dealers. They're
obviously supporting them, but not to the same extent. It's kind of like, my clients are, the corner shop, and in the city it's the Tesco's or the Waitrose. It's the big business,
And so you always try to remind people that it's not a homeless phenomenon, it's a human phenomenon.
Yeah.
And yet we look at the homeless and say, that looks like a drug addict.
Yeah.
And point at them and they look like it, when in fact it's all around us. Even us sometimes.
Yeah. And society doesn't accept this, like when we had Charles Kennedy, who was a Liberal Democrat leader a number of years ago, passed away due to alcohol abuse, mostly. It was very sad, and people, look how sad this is, and blah, blah, blah. But then when you hear 2 people every day are dying in Britain through homeless on the street, and you know, just pass us by. You know, there's no minute silence. There's no talk in the newspaper. You know, nothing. You know. But, you know, if we was to find out tomorrow that, I don't know, one member of the royal family or a politician has died of an overdose, again, it will be, oh, look how sad it is, and, you know. But, you know, if from this chair where I sit, you know, where I live and work amongst many homeless people, that's our daily event. That's twice a day, you know, and we don't see anyone saying anything. You know, but every few months, you know, we should all have a minute's silence for Joe Bloggs, who was a Hollywood star, or, you know, and I'm not at all suggesting that it's not sad. It is. It's flipping terrible, but no more terrible. No life is worth more than another person's life, you know.